If you're in the real estate business and you heard somebody say getting a deal to pencil and you're scratching your head wondering what in the world does that mean, getting a deal to pencil, or maybe you know full well what getting a deal to pencil means, but you're having a hard time getting a deal that you're trying to work on, maybe as a developer, or maybe you're looking to acquire some real estate, but you're having a hard time getting the deal to pencil and you want some help on what that process and how to actually do that, what the process looks like. That's what I'm going to try to help you with in this video. First of all, what does it mean getting a deal to pencil? Essentially, it just means getting the numbers to work out. And I'll show you why that's actually so hard in this current interest rate environment with this example template here that I have. So I've got our multifamily developer template. So this is for a multifamily apartment development, an example here. And I'm going to show you when you're trying to build out a financial model and you have a number of parameters, right? Things like a construction budget, things like how much equity you can invest, how much you think you can borrow, what kind of ratios or debt service coverage ratios you need to stay within, all of these kind of things that are pushing on the deal on different sides. And you're trying to put together this puzzle where they all work, right? So I'm going to show you that here, how the template helps you do that and why it can be really challenging right now. We're going to look here, I'm going to move out of the way, and we're going to look at this input financing tab. And so we call this our financing budget tool, but it allows you to put in some parameters, right? So let's say your lender says your desired debt service coverage ratio is 1.2. And here we can see, based on this deal, that we think our monthly net operating income, once the property is stabilized, is going to be $109,000. And that's based on what we entered in this input revenue and operating expense tab, right? So we've got, you can see here, you'll need to put in things like your unit mix. So we've got 10 studio apartments, 31 bedrooms, and 62 bedroom units in this proposed property. And a number of different assumptions here. Now, we also have a whole set of operating expense assumptions for the property, salary and wage assumptions. And so ultimately, based on all of those assumptions, the model is saying, hey, we think we can do net operating income of $109,000. If we have a 1.2 debt service coverage ratio requirement, that means our maximum monthly loan payment can be $91,000 in order to maintain that debt service coverage ratio. Okay. Now we put in our expected interest rate on the deal. And so what we notice here is that things look good. Things are green in this model when we have this 5.75% expected interest rate. Maybe that's what interest rates used to be, but they are not there anymore. And so when we put in an interest rate, let's just say it's going to be 9%. You'll see how the model shouts at you, turns red, right? And saying, this doesn't work, the deal doesn't work. And so this is the process of getting the deal to pencil. Like, we're trying to make these numbers work out. And what's happening here when we have these higher interest rates is that we don't have enough cash flow to maintain the debt service coverage ratio and be able to borrow enough to get the deal constructed or acquired. And, what are some things you can do? You can come back to your construction budget, and you can, in the construction budget, you see we've got a cost here of $200 per square foot. Maybe we're going to try to find a way to bring this down, and we think our hard costs are going to be $135,000 per unit instead of $145. So now we've got our cost per square foot down to $188. And then we can come back to our input financing and see, okay, that still doesn't work. We're still not where we need to be, but maybe, what if our rate was 7%? Still not there. We can see the difference. So this difference number here can be helpful, but basically you're going to be going back and forth, playing around with these different numbers to try to get to the point where, like we had at the beginning at 5.75%, the deal worked, and we had sufficient capital. We had, our equity was sufficient, and we had some leftover working capital to make the deal work. So this is kind of that process of getting the deal to pencil, is going through all these assumptions, trying to get the math to work out where, based on your set of assumptions, you can meet your debt service coverage ratio. You can get the building actually constructed or acquired for the price that you have the right debt to equity ratio, and so forth. I can't tell you exactly how to make your particular deal pencil. What I can tell you is that you need to go through some sort of process, some sort of spreadsheet template or something like this to play around with the numbers until you get them to work. And that's a process that's becoming more and more difficult these days with higher interest rates on these real estate deals. If you want to play around with this template, or we have a number of other commercial real estate developer acquisition templates, we'll put links to those templates in the description of the video below, and you can fill out your own assumptions. If you have any questions along the way, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at support@projectionhub.com, and we can try to help work on your deal with you. I'm happy to do that. We also will put a link in the description of the video below to grab a coupon code for this particular template or any of our other real estate development templates. So you'll be able to fill out a little form. We'll send you a coupon or a discount code that you can use to get a discount on this template. And we hope it's helpful in your planning process. So again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out.